Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. It's no doubt that we are living in strange times, and it's easy to get swept up in the current events. But there is an issue that nobody seems to be talking about, a vital role that someone needs to fill. And that is why I am announcing my candidacy to be your new Wolverine. Now, I know you're probably thinking, who's this guy? Where did he come from? That's so that we are off to a great start, because Wolverine was the X-Men's man of mystery for 45 years. I know it's become common for a person who's vying for a position to badmouth the one who previously held it. But that is something that I will simply not do, as Hugh Jackman did an amazing job. I will, however, be highlighting some of the differences between him and myself, as well as the different approach I would take to the role of Wolverine. Now, to start with the elephant in the room, I do not look like Hugh Jackman, obviously. But allow me a minute to explain why that's not entirely a bad thing. Now, as you can see, Hugh Jackman's a handsome guy who's graced the cover of so many magazines. I mean, it's pointless counting, because the new one's going to come out next month. But if you look at the classic panels of X-Men, you'll notice Wolverine is not a handsome man. I just so happen to not be a handsome man myself. And let's go over Hugh Jackman's height. He stands at 6'2", and he has this long, lean look to him, whereas Wolverine stands 5'3", and is a short, stocky guy. Now, I myself stand at 5'4". Now, most guys my height, they'd probably go to several different gas stations and take the high score, which mine would be 5'6.5". But since my campaign is not going to be like any other, I'm going to tell the truth. I'm actually 5'4". Much closer to the 5'3" that Wolverine is. Wolverine would never be voted people's sexiest man alive, and neither will I. Now, Hugh Jackman also happens to be a talented singer and dancer. I cannot sing or dance, and neither should Wolverine. Now, using classic panels of the X-Men and modern video gaming technology, we have rendered an image of what Wolverine could look like in the next movie. And the image is very telling. Now, another point of concern may be this accent. Well, that can be fixed. I mean, that can be fixed. Now, if you're wondering why I didn't do that from the beginning, I heard a very smart, crazy person once say, if you're good at something, never do it for free. But this accent is actually part of the charm, because I'm Cajun, which means my ancestors were from Canada, and they didn't quite behave themselves. Two more traits that are vital in a proper Wolverine. Now, as far as my acting experience goes, I play King Midas, the main character of my school play, which shows that I can be a jerk. And I'm also a veteran backyard wrestler, which shows that I could take an unnecessary amount of punishment. Now, I'm sure someone there is saying, don't quit your day job. Fortunately, the MCU stacks their movies with so many characters that even the main character struggles to get 30 minutes of screen time, so I won't need to quit my day job. I could film everything on my 2-week vacation, which gives me a safety net just in case some high-level Disney executive says, well, I don't think I like him, so he's gone. Kind of like they did with Andrew Garfield. Now, I know there is some competition for this role. A few names I've heard are Taron Egerton and Scott Eastwood. Both guys, I admit, can be trouble for my campaign. But I have a solution. Don't allow women to vote. And now, as far as the way Hugh Jackman played Wolverine, the reluctant anti-hero who's always getting drawn into battle, I would be pushing for the short, stocky, angry little guy who's always looking for the fight. The Leroy Jenkins of the X-Men who cracks a smile every time he sees diplomacy failing. And I would seriously push for knockdown, drag-out brawls with the likes of Omega Red, Cyber, the lesser-known but equally awesome Mr. X, and an R-rated throwdown with Sabretooth, something we should have had a long time ago. Now, I'm well aware that Disney's reluctant to do an R-rated superhero movie simply because of their child audience. Well, their argument is pretty weak when you look at movies like The Lion King, Tarzan, and especially Finding Nemo, where family members are brutally dispatched in the beginning. I mean, from a company that's caused more children to cry than circus clowns, that argument is pretty weak. But let me speak to them in a language that they'll really know. This movie made a ton of money. Now, I know Disney will be trying to recreate Hugh Jackman. But one thing that is painfully obvious, be it from their straight-to-video sequels during the 90s or their constant remakes of their animated classics now, they have a hard time recapturing that magic. So they should just go in another direction and go closer to the comic with the appearance and attitude of Marvel's #1 little bad guy that's a good guy. So, if that's the kind of change you want, you know what to do. Because if the last 10 years have taught us anything, the only way to bring about change is to be an annoying presence on social media. So using the hashtag #IStandWithThatGuy, let them know that you want a short, stocky, angry, and obnoxious Wolverine who's willing to do a Deadpool crossover. Even though they might lose the poster sales from the TikTok crowd, they will be giving the true believers something to truly believe in. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm that guy, and I approve this message. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you'd like to see more humor, usually at my expense, movie reviews, maybe talk about wrestling a little, the occasional or constant slamming of pop culture and some gaming, go ahead and subscribe. Thank you guys. And remember, I'm that guy, and I approve this message. Well, if that doesn't work, there's always plan B. Thanks again for watching, and God bless.